Yo, what's up? Bringing you that MLB Show 21. So we're going to go over the team affinity cards for Season 2. I was going to rank them 1 through 30, but rankings like that are so subjective, and I also haven't used any of the cards yet, so it's kind of hard to rank them just by the attributes. So better yet, we're just going to go over every one and give my thoughts and opinion of each one, and also point out like which cards I think are worth going after. While doing that though, we will do some of these lower end cards too, because I think there's some hidden gems here too that can definitely help out your team. But let's start off with the AL East. So you got Ripken Jr, has great contact numbers, good power versus lefties, and good vision, diamond tier defense, 56 speed. It's not a bad looking card, but I feel like, you know, with all the team affinity cards that did drop, there is better shortstops. And for most people, like Ripken, I don't think has a nice swing. So I would maybe go away from Ripken, and I think there's better options out there. You have 93 Jimmy Fox. He has great contact versus lefties, great power numbers, especially versus lefties, 82 vision, common tier defense, 50 speed. The one thing I'll say about this card, can play first, catcher, and third base. Definitely some utility options right there. I wouldn't mind playing him at catcher. You know, he's not a bad looking card. Could be a decent catcher. I know the defense obviously doesn't match with that, but he could be fine there, you know, if you want more of an offensive squad. And then we got Lou Gehrig. Great, I mean, it's 125 contact versus righties. What else you can say? But the rest of the hitting attributes, I mean, I want to say they're kind of disappointing overall. 94 vision's not bad. Bronze tier defense, 61 speed. I almost would take Jimmy Fox over Lou Gehrig. You know, even if just at first base, I think I would take Jimmy Fox over Lou. I do think Lou has a better swing though. Then you got one of the future stars, Shane Mcclanahan. Now, good hit per 9, good K per 9, and the walk per 9's alright. Has 80 control, has a fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. 98 fastball is really nice. And then if we look at the control, 89 control on that. You know, the changeup, more so the off-speed pitches, the control isn't that good. It might be a little bit harder to pinpoint with a pitcher like him, but for a left-handed arm, he looks good. I don't know if I would recommend him though. You know, obviously when we use him, we'll give a better judgment, but right now I'm kind of on the fence with him. And then we have 95 Jordan Groshans, has 102 contact versus righties, 100 versus lefties, 92 power, and 86 versus lefties. You know, that's pretty nice for hitting attributes. 79 vision, diamond tier defense, 70 speed. This is a nice looking card. For shortstop, I feel like he could be really solid. Can also play third base, right-handed hitter. I definitely would go after this card. I think he has the potential to be a great card. If I were to say like one player from this set, I probably would go with Groshans, to be honest. You know, that would be my number one guy from the AL East. So going to these little guys right here, you know, there's definitely some nice options. Craig Kimbrough, I wouldn't say I ever recommend him, but he does have a changeup, so it's a little bit better than having just the fastball and the knuckle curve. He does have good hit per 9s though. Chris Davis, just a good power hitter versus righties. And then Kiermaier, offensively, you're not really going to get much, but he might actually have a nice swing. I was using him just in Conquest, so it's not really judging much, but his swing's kind of nice. His hitting attributes aren't. He's more of like a defensive option and speed. You got Edwin, great power versus lefties and even righties. So he could be a solid option. And then Gary Sanchez, if anything, I would say Gary Sanchez is a must. You know, great power numbers, 102 contact versus righties. If you face a lefty, you know, that would be the only negative with that 36 contact versus lefties. But other than that, you know, as a hitter, really nice card. And he has a really nice swing. So Gary Sanchez, I think he's a dub. You know, I think he might even be our starting catcher for a while. I don't know if he takes over Posada's spot, but he definitely can be in the mix. So that's the AL East. We'll go to the AL Central now, and let's see who we got here. So Garrett Crochet, I think he might be like one of the top 5, maybe top 10. I don't know if I want to say top 5, but he's definitely one of the top options to go after. Maybe 1 or 2 for lefty, you know, starting pitchers. Great hit per 9, great K per 9, walk per 9's all right. Has 79 control, but got the 99 fastball. Does he have outlier? He does have outlier, so that means that fastball can hit 102. gonna be disgusting. Got the 87 slider, 88 changeup. When you go from 102 to 88, it's not bad. You know, I still would like more pitch speed differential, but 102 to 88 gonna make a difference with that slider also. I wish that two-seamer was maybe a different pitch, but still really solid. The control, you know, on the fastball, it's all right. So he might be a little bit shaky still. Slider's pretty good, and he has good break on the slider and changeup. So I think Crochet will be a very solid card. You got 96 Jim Tomy, great power numbers, and even great contact versus righties. As a pure hitter, I think this could be one of the top cards, and I feel like he has a nice smooth swing. So he might not be bad for a first baseman. Like, I would probably take him over Lou Gehrig and even Jimmy Fox. You know, who cares about defense at first base? Only negative for me is that 29 speed. But Tomy, really nice looking card. Next, we got Isaac Paredes, one of the future stars. Great contact numbers. Power numbers are all right. Good vision at 98. Diamond tier defense, 45 speed. Can play third, second, and short. Maybe as a second baseman, he's not bad. You know, third baseman, I feel like we have some options there. But he does have great contact numbers. Power numbers could have been a little bit better, I would say. I don't know who he is, so I don't know how good of a hitter he is. But, you know, if he had like 80 or so power, this card would have been really nice. And then we got Johnny Damon. Great contact numbers, very solid speed, defensive liability. So, you know, for a hitter, like, he could be pretty nice, but outfield option, I wouldn't even recommend. I wouldn't really recommend him. And then you got Jordan Bolazzovich, has good hit per nine, K per nine, and walk per nine numbers. 87 control, has a 95 fastball, 80 curve, 87 slider, and an 84 changeup. So those pitch speed differentials aren't bad. And control wise, you know, good control on the fastball and the curveball. Feel like we'll be able to dot with him a little bit. Slider and changeup's not bad either. You know, I think if you have over 80, it's pretty good. So, you know, the central guys are not bad, but definitely Crochet and Tomy, my top picks from this set. And then for like the legend guys, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care for any of these, but I will say Joe Nathan, you know, for a bullpen option, good hit per nine, good K per nine, solid walk per, I mean, not really solid, but the walk per nine's okay. But he has a good pitch repertoire. Fastball, slider, 12-6, cutter, and changeup. And the control is all right. So for like a low-end bullpen option, I feel like he could be pretty serviceable and be pretty solid. But if he gets like a 99 or whatever, like a high 90s later in the year, he's going to be pretty nice. The other four in this set probably wouldn't make a lineup, to be honest. Probably would not make a lineup, to be honest. So we're not even going to mention them. But Joe Nathan is not really that bad. Now on to the AL West, the main guys right here. So we got Roy Oswalt. I think he could be a very solid starting pitcher. You know, probably one of the top ones in all of the Team Affinity cards that drop. Hit per nine and K per nine. Hit per nine especially is kind of low. K per nine is not bad. 105 walk per nine is really good. 89 control is pretty good. But I like his pitch repertoire. Has a 96 fastball, 94 sinker. Got the 12-6 at 72. So a big drop right there. And 84 slider, 83 changeup. So I really like his pitch repertoire and his pitch speed differentials. And his control is pretty good. You know, for his first four pitches, his control is pretty nice. So I think Oswalt could be a nasty pitcher. Then you got Tory Hunter. Pretty good contact numbers versus righties. Great versus lefties. Great power numbers versus lefties. Got diamond tier defense, 73 speed. I feel like he has typically a nice swing. So for an outfield option, he definitely could be a very nice option. Then you got Robert Pawson. Great contact numbers. Power numbers on the lower end. 90 vision. Switch hitter. But he does have diamond tier defense, 93 speed. So he could be one of those glitchy guys. Like, he doesn't really pop on paper. But if he has a nice glitchy swing, the contact with that speed will be really nice. And defensively, he's set. You know, you can also play him at second or third base. Shortstop's the primary. He's only 17. Wow. He's only 17. But I feel like he could be a sneaky good card. And then you got Edgar Martinez. Great contact versus righties and lefties. Good power numbers. Great power versus righties. In 95 vision. Bronze tier defense, 41 speed. So first base, can also play third. I still think I would go Jim Tomy over someone like Edgar. I feel like that would be a better option. I mean, you could play Edgar at third, but he's not a bad looking card, good hitting card. I feel like he has like a slower swing. but we'll definitely use him more and try him out. I still favor other first basemen though. And then we got Sam Huff. Has solid contact numbers, great power numbers, 54 vision, diamond tier defense, 56 speed. So for a catcher, definitely a dub right here. Now you could, either get him or Gary Sanchez. I think both of those options are very nice options for a catcher. Huff might be better overall because he has diamond, and the contact numbers on both sides are in the higher 80s, lefties being in the 90s. Gary Sanchez, a little bit more power. But both of those catching cards are definitely dubs. So from this set, I think Oswalt's a dub. Actually, they all could be dubs. I think Oswalt's definitely a dub. Sam Huff is a dub. Pawson could be sneaky good. Same with Hunter. I think Edgar might be like the outlier, but he can even be good also. And then for the lower end guys, this is where there's a lot of good relief pitchers. So Doolittle, really solid lefty arm, only has a fastball, slider, and changeup. But for a lefty, great hit per nine, K per nine, walk per nine, really solid. You got Jose Leclerc, has great hit per nine and K per nine numbers. That walk per nine is really low, same with the control. But fastball, splitter, changeup, two seam, and curveball, he's a nice option. He's a nice option. The control will be an issue, but if you can locate with him, I think he can be pretty good. I like his silver card for like BR and stuff like that. Buhner, great power guy. That's pretty much it. Robin Roberts, probably would never use. And Garrett Richards, for a low-end starting pitcher, he's not bad, but we're getting so many good starting pitchers from Team Affinity, like the main guys, that he probably won't make a lineup. But early on in the year, he's a solid guy. So now let's go on to the National League guys. And the main ones, we got Hank Aaron. So Hank, great contact numbers, especially versus lefties. Power numbers versus lefties, pretty nice, 97 vision. Got diamond tier defense, 67 speed. I mean, he can play third base too. I just saw that. He can play third base. So for third base, I don't think I mind playing him here. So he could be pretty nice. He does have really good numbers against lefties and good vision. So Hank, I would say, is a good option. You got future stars, Edward Cabrera. Great hit per nine, K per nine numbers. Walk per nine is all right. Got solid control at 84. And then has a sinker, slider, curveball, changeup, and four seam. So I don't think that fastball has outlier. The fastball does have outlier. No, the sinker has outlier. The sinker has outlier. So I don't know if that hits 98, but he could be nice. This card could definitely be nice. He does have a solid pitch repertoire. His control, above 80s are pretty nice. The only thing is that changeup, but the changeup still doesn't have bad control. So for a starting pitcher, also looks like a really solid card. Then you got Ronnie Mauricio, has great contact numbers, great power numbers, 82 versus lefties. For the power is not bad, 80 vision, diamond tier defense, 62 speed. A switch hitting shortstop, can also play third base. So I think he's a really nice option. For sure, you have him, you have Groshans. I think those two can be interchangeable. So if you need a shortstop, I would go after one of these two guys. I think Pawson's would be the third choice, but Mauricio and Groshans, they look like dubs. You can play Groshans at second, I believe, right? Or one of them at third base. So this one, definitely a really nice card. Then you got 97 Cliff Lee. 88 hit per nine, 103 K per nine, 99 walk per nine. And he has some really nice per nines and 115 stamina. Has a sinker, cutter, circle change, knuckle curve, and a four seam fastball. So the velocity, like the sinker, tops out at 92. Not that high. The fastball, 93. But his pitch speed differentials are pretty nice. Kind of, from 92 to 74. If you can mix in that knuckle curve. The biggest thing about this card is the control. Nasty control. 99 for the sinker, 99 for the circle change, 99 for the knuckle curve. You should literally be able to dot everything with him on pinpoint. So because of that, even though he doesn't have the highest velocities, I feel like Cliff Lee could be a problem just because he will be able to dot everything up, especially on pinpoint. He could be a really, really nice card that, I'm sure many people will pick it up, but, he could be really nice. Then we have Jackson Rutledge, another starting pitcher. K per nine numbers pretty good. Walk per nine at 70 is all right. But he does have good control at 85, has a fastball, slider, changeup, curveball. All right, pitch mix right there. And the pitch speed differentials aren't bad going from the fastball to the curveball. Has pretty solid control. And I think it could be a good option. I don't think he's a great option, but he could definitely be up there. Like, his per nines aren't bad, and I did use him in moments. I don't remember if he had like one of those glitchy motions for pitching. A lot of the times, if the pitcher has like a tough motion to pick up, they could be better than what their attributes are also. So when we use him in ranked, you know, we'll judge him a little bit more, but I think right now he's just like a good card, and maybe he ends up being a great card. Now for the choice pack, I'll be honest, none of these cards I don't think are really worth it. Juan Pierre though, you know, if you like the speedy guys with great contact and obviously speed, you know, this card's a dub. This card's a dub. Rosario, you know, you're getting better options right there. And then Larry Walker, doesn't really have the power. Shane Victorino, just a contact switch hitter, but good defensively. Warren Spahn, no one uses him because he has a slow motion. So now onto the NL Central, we have Mark Pryor. Mark Pryor, I always like his card. I don't know why, but he finally got a nice high-rated card. Hit per nine's all right. Very nice K per nine. 81 walk per nine's not bad. 88 control. Got the fastball, slurve, curveball, and changeup. So slurve, typically one of my favorite pitches. So I do like his pitch repertoire, and I think it's going to work for him. Now for control, 96 on the fastball, 91 on the slurve, 86 and 81. So he should be able to pinpoint very well. I actually like this card. I think he could be a nice option. Is he the best one in this set? Maybe. You know, maybe. You got Johnny Bench next. Great contact numbers, great power numbers versus lefties. 91 vision, got diamond tier defense, 35 speed. Catcher first and third. So for a catcher, definitely nice. I will say though, I might take Huff over him. I actually probably would take Huff over him. I might even take Gary Sanchez over him, to be honest, just because he doesn't have the power versus righties. But still, you know, Bench is not a bad card. Defensively though, he's a dub. And then you got Bryce Terrain. Great contact numbers, has no power, nice vision, diamond tier defense, 89 speed, left-handed hitter. So for a shortstop, I think Groshans is better, Mauricio is better, maybe even Pawson's is better, but he's one of those contact guys with nice speed. So these cards are always sneaky good. You know, like they don't really look good on paper just because the power numbers don't pop. But they're normally like sneaky good cards that end up playing way better than you would expect them to play. And then we got Quinn Priester, has solid hit per nine, K per nine numbers, 83 walk per nine is not bad. It has 83 control, fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker, slider. I actually really like that pitch repertoire. You know, I think it's pretty solid. And the pitch speed differentials are also pretty good. Looking at the control, good on the fastball, good on the sinker, good on the curveball. And then the changeup slider might be a little bit you know, but definitely a solid looking starting pitcher. And then you got Joe Torre, 125 contact. What more can you ask for? The power numbers versus righties aren't even bad. 106 vision, got gold tier defense, 47 speed. As far as like a hitting catcher card, you know, because he can play catcher, and I probably would play him at catcher, this card's a dub. This card's 100% a dub. Now, it all depends if you rather have a contact guy or a power guy. Because if you want power, you probably take Huff or maybe even Gary Sanchez. But if you want like a straight contact hitting catcher that could hit home runs because he has good power versus righties, Joe Torre might be your guy. You know, because that contact, that vision, really, really nice. So I'm actually liking that card. He might be my favorite from this set. And then probably the pitchers, to be honest. But Joe Torre might be my favorite from that set. And then these cards right here. Lester, I wouldn't really recommend. Willie Stargell, great power numbers. You know, maybe for a bench bet, he could be pretty nice. You got Foster, you know, not a bad card. I was using him during Conquest. I don't really like his swing, to be honest. But overall, nice hitting card. Tyler O'Neill got good power numbers, good speed. So he might not be bad, but low contact and vision. And then Lucroy, there's better catching cards. That's all I'm going to say. So now on to the last set, the NL West. We got the main guys, Brandon Webb. So this one is the one I'm probably like most curious about. But a 93 card, new legend, 83 hit per nine, 82 K per nine, 97 walk per nine. The per nines aren't bad, has great stamina, has a very solid pitch repertoire. Sinker, curveball, changeup, cutter, and fastball. The pitch speed differentials, you know, going from 93 to 77 or even 79 for the changeup, I think are actually solid. But it's the control which I think will really separate this card. The sinker and fastball are going to be good. for people that like throwing sinkers, he's going to be nasty, even with like that 92 pitch speed. But the curveball, changeup, cutter, like if you can locate those pitches and dot them up, that's really going to separate how good this card is. I really want to try out this card though, you know. I think he could be nice, but he's also like one of the middle tier guys for me right now. Like he's not in my top 10, and I don't even know if he's in my top 20 for Team Affinity. So he's one of the cards that I have to try out and really see how good we can pitch with him. But I do like his pitch repertoire, his pitch speed differentials. It's just going to all end up on like the control and if we can actually locate with him. You got the 96 Dante Bechet, really good hitting card. And I actually like his swing from like previous years. So for an outfield option, I don't think this card's bad at all. You know, bronze tier defense, kind of low, 70 speed's okay. But for a pure hitter, I think this card's a dub. You know, definitely a card that I want to pick up. And actually, because I have the most progress done right now with the NL West, this is probably going to be the first set we end up debuting and trying out. So we'll see these cards really soon. Then you got 94 Josiah Gray. Great hit per 9, K per 9, and walk per 9 numbers. Got the 85 control. Fastball, slider, changeup, curveball. So 4 pitch repertoire. Not bad, but he does have a nice pitch speed differential going from the 96 to the 79. It's kind of like the basic pitch repertoire, but it's also all you really need, I would say. You know, fastball, slider, changeup. He does have pretty good control on the fastball and the slider, even the curveball. I mean, the changeup's not bad either. So I think when I was using him in moments, he had a pretty nice motion for throwing. So he could be a nice option. I'm not really sure right now, like just based off attributes, if I would take him though, or Brandon Webb. Again, I think those two guys can flip-flop, but I think they both could be solid starting pitcher cards. Then you got Tony Gwynn, great contact numbers, great defense, 70 speed. So obviously this is not the best version of Tony Gwynn, but it's still a very solid card, and he's going to be a hitting machine. You know, whenever you got 125 contact, that's really good. I don't think I would use him though, even though it's a nice looking card, just because there is better outfield options and maybe even better overall. But if this card had like 80, 90 speed, I 100% would be using him. It's kind of comparable almost to Johnny Damon, because like the hitting side, and Damon has better speed, but obviously Gwynn has the defense. So I would take Gwynn over Damon. That's not even a question. And then you got Willie Mays. Mays, not looking bad at all. 98 contact versus righty, 78 versus lefties. Got great power numbers, 90 vision. I would probably take Willie over Tony Gwynn just because he has the same defense and 79 speed. You know, that little extra speed makes a difference. Plus, he has the power. So I probably would favor him a little bit more. But those are the main guys. And then the lower end guys, you got some good bullpen guys here. Sergio Romo, I feel like is a very viable option. Has good pitch speed differentials, a good pitch repertoire. That slider is normally really nasty. You got another new legend in Heath Bell. Great hit per 9 and K per 9 numbers. Got the 67 walk per 9. Fastball, 12-6, sinker, and slider. I feel like he does have a tough motion, but the control when I was using him in like Conquest was kind of sloppy, you know? So I feel like if you can locate with him, he'll be good. But I also feel like that control might be an issue. Don Sutton, probably don't recommend, but he does have really nice pitch speed differentials and could be a sneaky good starting pitcher. Upton, just really good against lefties. Like for a bench bat versus lefties, might be a dub. And then you got Blackman, really good contact hitter. Powers is pretty nice versus righties. Could be a dub for that. But those are all the Team Affinity cards for Season 2. 60 new diamonds dropped. So there's definitely a lot of good options right there. And they also help for like filling up the collections for, I guess, the Mariano Rivera collection that just dropped. But let me know which cards you guys are liking so far. I think there's a lot of good options here. But for like the low diamonds, I do like Gary Sanchez and a lot of the bullpen arms that drop. Leclerc, Doolittle, you got Joe Nathan, Heath Bell, Sergio Romo. I think all those cards are dubs. And then for the main diamonds, I really like Groshans. Jimmy Fox might be all right, especially for a catcher. But you got Sam Huff, Crochet. That's probably it for the Central, and Jim Tomy. For the West, I like Pawson's, Roy Oswalt. Torre might not be bad, but Huff for a catcher is really nice. The East has some good ones in Cliff Lee and Mauricio. The Central, Joe Torre might not be bad. You got some solid pitchers in there, and Priester and Pryor. And then the West, you know, Webb and Josiah kind of the wild cards right there. And then Bechet, I think, is a really good card. So let me know what you guys think about everything and which cards you guys have picked up and tried already. But that's going to do it for this one. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, drop a like in the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.